Welcome back. Right now, the work of Twin Cities artists is catching the eye of museum curators in the Big Apple. It's all part of a showcase featuring historically marginalized creatives. Michelle Beck met up with them before the trip, nearly a decade in the making.
The weekend destination is the city that never sleeps.
New York City.
Good thing Scott Sorensen
Yes.
rested well overnight.
Scotty, do you feel nervous?
No.
And saved the dreaming
No way.
for the day.
Is that part of Scott's dream to go to New York?
Yes.
It's not too far.
His cloud-like ambitions are rooted at the Interact Center. The St. Paul nonprofit helps artists with disabilities live out their colorful visions.
It makes me feel happy. Make puppets and make masks and creating ideas.
The puppet-inspired signature style of masks makes the clay artist pretty famous around here.
I just finished.
His high hopes
I make masks for days.
seem within reach.
If hopes are as high as the Empire State, Scott will literally be steps from reaching it. He and 4 other artists from Interact are the only group from Minnesota chosen to be a part of the Outsider Art Fair in Manhattan.
Big nose.
That's where Scott's work is on display right now.
Don't forget the mouth.
For 3 decades, the fair has connected historically marginalized artists
Short little teeth.
with museum curators and renowned dealers.
It's just such a great opportunity.
Interact's executive director, Joe Price, is here to share in the dream.
How proud are you?
I'm over the moon.
He says fulfilling it was worth the wait.
We've been trying to get into it for almost a decade, so this is a huge honor for us, and it will help our artists to have more connections to the art world.
And I've always told Scott that he can do or be anything that he wants. And if you work hard, what happens? Your dreams come true, right?
Yes, dreams come true.
Scott and his mom, Michelle,
I'm very proud.
are waking to a reality that's been so famously sung.
Ta-da! Finished.
If you can make it
It is New York.
there, you'll make it anywhere.
I don't think the Broadway show's very expensive.
In St. Paul,
Yeah, I don't know.
Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.
So proud of you.
Very, very cool. All right, let's talk trains now, and a big proposal to get rid of one in the Twin Cities. The North Star Rail goes from downtown Minneapolis near Target Field through Anoka, Elk River, and Ramsey, all the way to Big Lake. A lot of people who live in the suburbs ride the rail to avoid driving through downtown and paying for parking. But since the pandemic, the numbers have plummeted. And as Gordon Severson reports, leaders are now thinking about shutting it down and using buses to save money.
The North Star commuter rail made its first trip on November 16th of 2009.
Well, I've been looking forward to this because I drive from Monticello all the way to downtown Minneapolis.
More than 2,400 travelers rode the rail that first day, and many were excited about the possibilities.
This is just a great way for me to be able to use the time for work or study or relaxation, and the cost is about the same given the gas prices.
In the following years, ridership increased to a steady 700,000 travelers a year, peaking at nearly 800,000 in 2017. But then came the pandemic.
Since the pandemic, the ridership has dropped to approximately 16% of what it was.
And the numbers have stayed low ever since, with just around 120,000 travelers last year, with about 300 to 400 travelers per day.
I'm here to tell you, after 14 years, there is no base. There is no customer base for North Star, nor will there ever be.
During the House Transportation Committee at the state capitol Monday, some defended the North Star Rail, arguing more departures will give riders more options.
We know that the North Star can be successful. The key is flexibility.
However, leaders with the Met Council and MnDOT say the numbers are so low that getting rid of the rail may be the best option.
We actually support the idea of carefully evaluating and exploring the alternatives to commuter rail.
Republican Representative John Kosnick agrees.
It has huge operating losses, huge maintenance costs, and very low ridership.
That's why he proposed a bill to shut it down.
The reason is nobody's using it. That's the reason we're closing it down.
According to a new study from MnDOT, closing down the North Star line would save Minnesota taxpayers around $12 million a year, and a similar service could be provided using buses for around $2 million a year.
Transit needs to be nimble and flexible, and so that's why we support different bus alternatives, as the Met Council has recognized.
The Met Council and MnDOT are now considering every alternative to see what option works best. Meanwhile, Kosnick says he will move forward with this bill at the Capitol, and he's hoping to get enough votes to pass it later this session.
We need to make sure that we're using our transit dollars and our transportation dollars as effectively as possible, and make sure that transit is efficient, and in this case, North Star was never efficient.
So why not just raise the ticket price to make up the difference in costs? Well, right now it costs about $5 to ride one way on the commuter. To break even, they would need to charge somewhere between $90 and $170 each way. Any movement on the possible shutdown will take some time, as state, federal, and city money is all tangled in the line. Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.